Welcome to Buzz in the Tower, a podcast dedicated to the movies of the 80s and 90s. I'm Mo Shapiro. He's Max Sanders, and today we are going to be talking about the 1995 movie Heat.
You looking to go back? I chased some crews. The guys were looking to f*** up and get busted back.
You must have worked some dipshit crews.
I worked all kinds.
You see me doing thrill seeker liquor store holdups with a Born to Lose tattoo on my chest?
No, I do not.
Right. And I am never going back.
You just did the Jack Palance #1 guy.
You. Time.
3 minutes to 80 seconds.
Get to the chopper.
No, this movie is the antithesis of that movie.
I have to tell people.
Yeah.
I walk into the studio.
You did.
And you're wearing a suit.
Yeah.
And my immediate reaction is who died. And then I'm like, oh my God, no, he's all in on Heat. So
Give me all you got.
So I run upstairs. You know I don't have suits necessarily ready to go. So I run upstairs. I'm like, all right, grab whatever you can. Luckily, I had a great jacket. That's all
you
I
are
really
a hodgepodge of colorations.
There's a lot going on. And then I was like,
the checkered shirt is a choice.
Well, then I was like, can I wear my comfy pants or do I have to put on dress pants? I was like, no, the camera's going to show the pants. So I got to put on dress pants.
Well, both guys are really well dressed. Neil wore the suits.
Fred?
He wore the suits to blend in to society.
I need you to calm down.
Okay. What?
You are so amped up about this movie.
It's my third
now.
favorite movie of all time.
I know.
And this is a big moment for our podcast because we've never done a self-serious, half art, half blockbuster movie. We more do the Deadpool, fourth wall breaking, Predators, great because it's also unintentionally hilarious.
Yeah.
This movie,
let's take it easy on the unintentional.
It's my #1 movie, so
it's the greatest film ever.
Yeah. So, but I'm saying this is my third favorite movie, and it's actually.
What's your second?
Shawshank.
Yeah, Shawshank is really good.
4th is Scott Pilgrim. 5 is Goodfellas, and honorable mention Dark Knight.
Before you get too deep,
okay,
can I say a couple things? Can I go through? I'm going to get you to this episode. I woke
it's gonna
up.
Be a 3-hour episode.
I woke up this morning and said, Mo, your voice is going to be rested today because Max is ready to roll. Welcome to Buzz in the Tower. Where are my cameras? Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2. It was very Wayne's World to me. You like that?
Yeah, you're good at that.
I try.
I don't know where the cameras are.
I just need you to focus on the episode. You're good. Just when you look at me, not behind me. It throws me off. If this is your first time to the show,
what Vince does.
I know.
Yeah.
I need you to subscribe. I need you to leave a review. The reviews, they reflect well upon the quality that
we got 30 last week.
Well, that's finally. I know.
We're top 25 in North America.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah.
That's what I want to hear. All right.
Yeah.
Do you know what movie I watched?
You're not checking them every day.
Do you know what movie I watched the other day for just fun? Was Zoolander.
Yeah.
And
Duchovny, Wyoming Models.
No, but the scene when Stiller's dad, whose name is escaping me right now.
Oh, it's oh my God. Jerry.
What does he say when he finally does
That's
Magnum?
it, baby.
That's it, baby.
Yeah.
So like every time something good happens in the last couple of days, all I can hear is that's it, baby. It's great. All right. Review, leave 5 stars, subscribe, follow, and then today we do not have anything representing our sponsor, 80stees.com, but that doesn't mean I won't give you that. 80stees.com, the best t-shirts out there. If you love the 80s and 90s, swing by, grab yourself something nice. A little something for the holiday season.
They should make a Heat one. Like the Heat poster is a really cool
I need
t-shirt.
you to take a deep breath. You're all heat. You're all hot and bothered under the collar.
We have a 2-hour and 50-minute
Jesus, we're not doing
movie.
3 hours. Anyways. Social media, at Buzz in the Tower, BUZZN the Tower, website, buzzinthetower.com, where you can get officially licensed merchandise. Maybe we'll even sell the actual suit jackets worn in this episode. I'm so uncomfortable. I wear like 2 suits a year. I'm like, get me back into my comfy clothes.
Take off the jacket.
Don't you tell me. Do it.
If you want to.
Do it slowly.
You look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame right
I feel
now.
all hunched here.
Why? Yeah. Take it off.
I'm not taking it off. I just need to straighten up.
You need it tailored.
Max, shut up. I don't need anything tailored.
Well,
you need it tailored.
You got Chris Spielman traps, and it's putting it up there.
You had me at Chris Spielman. You had me at Chris Spielman.
And I'm back.
Patreon.com/Buzz in the Tower. Suits aren't cheap. We need your money so we can buy more suits. Suits aren't cheap. So good. I didn't have a ski mask. I considered cutting holes in this, and I was like, nope, we're good. We'll just.
You didn't have the Jason mask or anything like that?
No, I got nothing.
Okay.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
That's it, baby.
They are cool masks.
Max.
Yeah.
Today we're talking about Heat.
Yep.
I have to do something before we do anything else.
Okay.
And shame on me for not even getting it up and ready. When I try to explain to people what this movie's about, it's too easy. Actually, I'm going to secede to you. Tell us about this movie. Do you have the synopsis of the movie up and ready to go?
In my head.
You're just going to do it in your head. Tell me about the movie.
Do you want the simple version or the complex version?
I want you to do you. Today's your day. Today's Max's birthday. So you can Happy Valentine's Day, by the way.
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah. We celebrated.
Yeah.
I celebrated 3 days ago. So I'm good. I got it out of the way.
Jesus.
She's in Philadelphia. This is my Valentine's Day.
This is your
just talking to a dude about heat.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah. Is that Kool-Aid?
It is.
Oh my God. It's like 8:50 in the morning.
Hey, whatever. What are you gonna do?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. And you have the Burt inhale laugh. That's great. So Heat, at its core, is just a cop versus robber movie. It's two people at the best of their game who the outside of their lives are crumbling and just they have no exterior life besides what they're obsessed with. And it's the kind of inevitable meeting of them as they face off against each other during the mid-90s doing a bank robbery in L.A. And if you spin it out and kind of go like longer picture or like, 10,000 feet, it's more kind of about these small events in their lives. It's almost like the movie, remember the movie Crash?
Yeah.
Like how all these little things kind of brought these people together?
Yeah.
The bank part is kind of ancillary to these two people just kind of somehow getting involved in their lives with these little decisions that everyone else makes around them.
You are so intense right now. It's making me uncomfortable.
Well, this is like real
art.
I know. We don't get to talk about art.
Neil McCauley leads a group of professional bank robbers, taking down major scores around L.A. However, after their last heist goes terribly wrong and ends up in a homicide, Detective Vincent Hanna finds a clue and becomes obsessed with the case. I can't read. Determined to stop McCauley's crew.
Yeah.
Hanna and McCauley are competing against each other in a deadly cat and mouse game. Although they are on different sides of the law, they still find huge recognition in each other's troubled personal lives and work. However, this won't make them hesitate to do whatever they can to win the battle between the two in this crime saga. I think that you've mentioned this before. I think there's actually some scholars that have written about this. There's only really like 6 stories ever created in all film.
Yep, there's 12 Greek tragedies that are repeated over and over again. Yeah.
And without getting too into the weeds in that, like you can look at almost any movie that comes out. You can say, okay, it's a end of the world scenario. Yeah. It's a boy meets girl scenario. It's the everyman going through the trials and tribulations of, the zero to the hero.
End of life, making amends.
Yeah. I mean, this is your
the lone gunslinger. Yeah.
Point Break, Ocean's 11, Heat.
Den of Thieves.
Yeah, they all have this
Dog Day Afternoon.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Heat is the best of all of them.
Yep.
It is the only reason I like Point Break more than Heat.
Do you really?
I do, but it's not. I don't even compare them.
Okay.
Point Break to me is it's almost like the Disney version of Heat.
Yeah.
It really. I mean, Max, I'm with you on loving this movie. The only reason, like I said, I think that Point Break feels more. Even though Point Break is R-rated, it doesn't feel R-rated when you put it up against
it's goofy
this
R-rated.
movie. Yeah. This movie is, here's the example. Most action films, in fact, almost all my favorite action films, have a moment of brevity. There's like a laugh, a break the fourth wall, a joke. Schwarzenegger famously, to your point about
the one-liners.
Predator, even in Predator, right?
Stick around.
Yeah. This movie is like white knuckle.
It's brutality.
Start to finish.
Yeah, but you do have the levity with how crazy Pacino is acting.
Oh, my God.
So, I don't know if you know this.
Oh, don't get into your facts yet, because I know exactly what fact you're about to do.
Okay.
I'm going to pause you on your facts.
Okay.
I'm going to go out of order. So, typically on the show.
No, I don't want to do facts first. I want to talk a little bit more about this. Okay.
I know we jump around on the show and we talk about, the cast and we talk about facts. Inevitably, when you go into the facts, you're gonna accidentally stumble onto this one point. So, I am going to come out the gate making my one and only point for the entire show.
You have 1 point?
I have one really big point. I've got facts.
Dead man on the end of this microphone.
No, this is my one point.
Okay.
Is this the greatest ensemble cast ever made in a film?
Yes. Not even close. There's nothing even compared to it. What are you gonna do? Ocean's 11, but that's a farce of a movie.
Yeah. I compare this to the 1992 Olympic
Dream Team. Yeah.
I mean, so if you think about the Dream Team for the U.S., you had Barkley, Ewing, Malone, Pippen,
Jordan, Bird,
so stop there. Yeah. Let's just stop at that first chunk. When you say Dream Team, people immediately are like Bird, Magic, Jordan.
You remember the Time magazine cover.
Yep.
Yeah.
But what you forget is Barkley, Ewing, Malone, Pippen.
Yep.
To me, that's where this movie is incredible. Pacino, De Niro, I mean, in The Godfather, they never shared a scene with each other.
No, this is
their first scene ever shared with each other.
The two best actors.
Titans. They were the Titans.
The two best.
Yeah.
Of the last 50 years.
Yeah.
Their first time on screen.
Yeah.
And still, for 10 years, people didn't think they were on screen together.
Really?
Well, because is
this like a moon landing conspiracy?
I kind of.
Okay.
So, the coffee shop scene.
Yeah.
They only shoot it from one side, each one. There's not a wide angle shot of them both together. So when you watched it on TV in the small screen when it wasn't widescreen, you didn't even see the back of the other head. So there was rumors that they hated each other and weren't on screen together.
I mean, it's just incredible.
Yeah.
I heard rumors about they negotiated like if one of them had 6 lines, the other had to have 6. None of this has ever been proven, mind you. But here's why I use the analogy.
Yeah.
And I just, the fun thing for me in watching Heat again. Now you watch Heat probably every year, twice a year at least, right?
No, I watch it 10 times a year.
10 times a year.
Yeah.
I had not seen Heat in years.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen it through the lens of having a podcast and talking about films. And when I watch movies like that, what I now look for is I'm like, what do I know that guy from?
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing in the world is saying, okay, look at this actor, look at this actress.
It's a nice serotonin dump.
This movie
has everybody.
Has everyone.
Yeah.
If I were to start listing off the characters in this movie to the average person who's seen Heat and likes Heat, I don't even think that they would know that I was talking about Heat until I got to De Niro, Pacino, Kilmer, Voight.
Once you get to Sizemore and Trejo,
okay.
I'd be like...
You would.
Yeah.
So to that point, let me just go through this, okay? So Kelso, he's the guy in the wheelchair who gets the idea to do this heist in the first place.
He invents the internet.
He invents the internet. Do you know who he is?
It's Tom Noonan.
It's Tom Noonan. Frankenstein from Monster Squad.
Yeah.
And Kane from RoboCop 2. By the way, in this particular movie, I'm not going to be able to look at you and say, do you know who that is? Because you obviously know everyone in this movie. No, it's my fault. Yeah. You don't have to act surprised.
You're missing his best role. In Manhunter, he's the
Tooth
Fairy.
the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah.
The Tooth Fairy Manhunter.
In the Garden of
who
Eden.
also was directed by Michael Mann.
Yeah.
Which I always forget that he did Manhunter, which we'll get to that fact. That's good stuff. All right. So Charlene, who plays Kilmer's wife.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
Because she's fantastic. Ashley Judd, she's fantastic.
Alarmingly attractive.
But like Ashley Judd, you know who that is. Like that's not a
Double Jeopardy is one of the best movies.
That's not to me a big deal, but she's having an affair.
Yeah.
And so Michael Mann said, all right, if she's gonna have an affair, we need to have this guy she's having an affair with.
Schlubby.
Give me the voice of Mo Sizlak, Chief Wiggum, comic book guy, and Apu himself, Hank Azaria.
It's incredible.
They just slide Hank Azaria in there as the guy she's having an affair with. Let me continue because this will take a minute. The money launderer, the jerk, right?
Van Zandt.
Roger Van Zandt.
Yeah.
Who's fantastic in this movie, by the way. Give me Colonel Willie Sharp from Armageddon.
Yeah. Stop shooting near the nuclear weapon. Yeah.
And I'm totally...
He's also the bank manager in Dark Knight.
Oh, you see, beat me too. So I'm jumping ahead to another thing. We're going to talk a lot about the Dark Knight and Heat. But yes, he essentially feels like the same role.
No, he's the link because no one loves Heat more than anything.
Max, you're ruining everything.
Sorry.
I've got this all teed up, but you're right. Okay. Then Michael Mann said, all right, look, it's the 90s. We're making this incredible film. I'd like to slide 2 musicians in here.
Yeah.
So what does he do? So Van Zandt needs a bodyguard, obviously,
Yep.
a right-hand man. Give me Henry Rollins.
In an awesome role for him.
Great.
Yeah.
He did great. Then he said, all right, so we've got a CI. Do you know what CI stands for? I had to check it up.
Criminal informant.
God, you are ready for this. It's confidential informant, but you are ready for this episode.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, so the CI is talking with Pacino. And he's like, what do you got for me? By the way,
give me all you got.
He's so over the top. It's amazing. He goes, meet me at the club later tonight. My guy's
BJ's
going to
at
be
Alvarado,
there.
2 a.m.
The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Funky Comedia himself, Tone Loc.
From Ace Ventura, too, right?
Oh, absolutely. I would say from Ace Ventura, but he's a musician before he's Ace Ventura. Yeah.
I know him from Ace Ventura.
You know him from Ace Ventura. Then, sorry, I have a long list here.
Yeah, keep going.
Continue to move down. I knew you'd love this.
Take all the time you want.
Max. Important scene. We need a doctor to stitch up Val Kilmer, who's been shot. Who do we get? Who do we get to stitch him up, Max? Well, of course, we're going to go get Ari Gold himself, Jeremy Piven.
Before the hair flux.
Jeremy Piven.
It's a rough look.
I know, but like he just pops in there
my
out of
daughter
nowhere.
gave me this shirt.
Yeah.
Give me a shirt.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, holy crap, it's Jeremy Piven. Okay. Paroled dinner cook turned getaway driver.
Yep.
Is Serrano from Major League.
Also President Haysbert.
Also State Farm voice, Dennis Haysbert. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Not to be outdone, Lieutenant Vincent Hanna's crew has Drucker and Bosco.
Yeah.
I know you know who both of these guys are. Just calm down right now. So Drucker is played by McKelty Williamson. Do you know who that is just by name? Don't tell me. Just yes or no.
Shrimp.
Oh, Shrimp. Yeah. I said Shrimp. Yeah. He is Bubba Blue.
Yeah.
I was looking, I'm like, that's for sure from Forrest Gump, Bubba Blue.
Or Daddy-O from Con Air.
Yeah. More importantly, Bubba Blue.
Yeah.
I mean, that's. And Max.
And also, remember Wildcats, the movie?
Yeah.
He's the
Was he one of the football players?
He's the quarterback.
Oh, that's right. With Goldie Hawn. I love that movie. Football. we should do a Wildcats episode.
I'd be so down for that.
I'd be down for that. We're gonna follow Pete with Wildcats.
Sure, we need to take a break.
Bosco, the other member of his crew. Oh, man. Oh, good. Ted Levine, aka Buffalo Bill, who was originally offered the part of not War Child, Waingro, and said, "I don't want to take Waingro because I'm going to be typecasted into these like criminal like weirdos."
I had to get it on, man.
Oh, good. But he's great in this and in Fast and Furious. It's very similar. He's like that cop-ish type of role. And Max, let's get to the names that you do know. Natalie Portman in her second role after Leon.
Yeah.
Leon's the
great.
professional. She's amazing in both of these. Actually,
she's the least favorite part of this movie.
Oh, I disagree. She's perfect. I actually think she's perfect.
Dad, where are my barrettes?
No, she's perfect.
Okay.
She's perfect. Because that's
life?
It's exhibiting very well the mental health issues that she has from her absentee father, her mom who identifies as someone who's on Prozac and smoking weed all the time. Like, it's actually very, very well done.
Okay, cool. That makes me happy.
Yes, Ashley Judd, Chris's wife.
Yeah.
Tom Sizemore and Danny Trejo.
Oh, my
Let's
God.
just slide them in there. And then John Voight is Nate, Val Kilmer is Chris, Pacino is Hanna, and De Niro is McCauley. That is the craziest ensemble cast in any film I've ever heard
It's
of.
insane.
It's insane.
They picked everybody.
Coster, you could turn that into a 1 minute short for YouTube.
It's like 5 minutes.
I'm like 8 minutes in. We'll figure out a way to chop
It's like
that together.
15 deep.
It's good.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I knew that if we started going through the facts that we'd pull into that. But when I watch this movie and I'm just trying to understand why is this movie so damn good, it starts and stops with the cast.
Yeah.
The cast is absolutely incredible.
So everyone got backstories for their characters.
Yeah.
I'm talking like Vincent Hanna had like a 15-page backstory on what he used to do after he was out of the military. He would drive his car with no headlights on in like rural Illinois just to kind of feel like a jolt for his system. So are you not interested in this?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you want from me?
I don't know.
God, I think maybe you just need to take it. Jesus, that's super aggressive.
Get upset.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm locked in. Good God, Max.
So Michael Mann had all these backstories for all these people, and the way they shot the movie, there was 95 sets, and they didn't shoot anything in an actual.
So let's stop on that fact.
Okay.
Because that's a great point, and I want to expand on it a little bit. They did no soundstage work.
Nope.
This was all done on location. There is a grit to the way that this is shot.
Yeah.
And I'd have to go back and look at what awards it was up for.
0.
That's incredible.
Like at this point, this was kind of before when The Dark Knight made them say action superhero movies need to be in the Oscars.
Yeah.
For some reason, if you had a gun in a movie and it was more bank robbed, I can't. I'm viscerally annoyed that no one got nominated for this movie.
So Michael Mann did something very unique. In addition to what you're talking about, he did something very unique. Usually, so obviously the scene is the bank robbery.
Yep.
Right? More, not even the bank robbery, the shooting outside of the bank.
Yeah. When they get ambushed and they have to kind of get their way out.
He did some things that are incredible that hadn't been done before. So first of all, from a sound perspective, what those films typically do is they put the gunshot sounds in.
They dub them after. Yeah.
He put microphones all over the sets, not the sets, all over the locations. They're hidden microphones to pick up the sound. And when you hear the guns shooting,
it's cacophonous.
And it's unlike any film you've ever seen before because it actually sounds real and it's jarring.
Yeah.
The echo you get from these explosions of these automatic, these ARs that are being shot.
Yeah, assault weapons.
It's incredible.
Yeah. 800 to 1,000 rounds shot per take.
Yeah.
And I mean, the way they trained for it.
They trained with live ammo.
Yep.
And the scene is so accurate that Marines and military use that scene to show the correct way to seek cover while shooting and to put clips in.
Yeah, so if you're being ambushed, I guess you're supposed to do this thing where someone puts down suppressive fire while you kind of leapfrog back and forth. You know, go! That's what they do. That was discovered by the Australians during the Vietnam War because before that, it goes against every kind of survival principle that you have.
I just love that you don't know how to do your taxes, but you know this much information without even looking down at your computer about this movie. Your obsession with this movie is incredible.
Yeah, so, I mean, backstory, the Rewatchables, which is one of my inspirations for this
you
podcast.
Love that podcast. Yeah,
it started because Chris Ryan and Bill Simmons, two of my favorite podcasters, love the movie Heat, and they just sat down in his pool house and talked about Heat for an hour. 100 episodes in, they did the reheat, where they talked about it again. 200 episodes in, they did the triple heat where they got Michael Mann in and they talked about the movie. And
that's
it's
awesome.
Michael Mann, he's like an alien. Like the way he sees things structurally and like kind of, you always know where they are. Like when the gunfire scenes, you can understand where people are. Sizemore kind of gets off to the side, you know. And I love that movie where he picks up a kid and you're like, good move. You want to pick up the kid. You know, that's a good shield, actually.
And just bullet to the head.
Yeah.
Bullet to the dude. Again,
Pacino with the best shot of all time.
I know, but that's the other thing too, is like the violence of this. And then, you know, I don't know why I keep on butchering his name, wanting to call him War Child.
Waingro.
That Waingro is not just an idiot, but he's also a serial killer.
Yep.
Is such like an almost feels unnecessary addition, but works perfect for who he is and what he is.
So I've thought about this before. It seems like an unnecessary plot point for Neil to go back and kill him like he has to.
Yeah.
You need more than he just ratted out the crew.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
It's like you said with Natalie Portman. You need that structure that this is why Vincent's a little different, that he has the home structure.
Yeah. Well, and so I know, I don't know that there's a way to even talk about this movie without jumping around like this, but I don't even care because this is for you. Today is for you.
Yeah.
When he finds his stepdaughter, Natalie Portman, and she's tried to kill herself.
Like really did.
That's, in my opinion, his best bit of acting in the movie.
No way.
Yeah, hear me out. Hear me out.
Because the sensitivity kind of.
It's not sensitivity. First of all, Pacino says that the entire movie he just pretended like he was high on cocaine. That was in his mind. He's like,
that was part of the background of the character.
Yeah.
And it makes sense.
It does.
And he's had addiction stuff before.
He pulled on some life experience.
Yeah.
When he's holding her, and he earlier had that conversation with his wife about she wanted him to share what was going on in his life. Yeah. And he's like, I keep that in here. You don't want to hear about I
got to be sharp.
You want to hear about the crackhead who microwaved their baby. But like, it's evident that all of this, he seems to safeguard all of this. There's a wall up, right?
Yeah, it keeps him sharp.
When she's dying.
Yeah.
And he said, not you, not today.
Yeah.
And he's like ripping the towel.
Yeah, that is a good scene.
It is because it really shows you who he is. The rest of the movie is macho Pacino, right? Like, I'm in charge. But like this moment of vulnerability is critical to who his character is. He then has to go to the hospital with his wife who just had an affair with him.
Sit down, Ralph.
Yeah. And he loves her and he puts it all aside, and the humanity of who he is as a character, to me, that's the same thing they did with De Niro and De Niro's romantic involvement with the girl he met.
Edie.
Because De Niro shows it, pieces of it, with Chris, with Val Kilmer's character.
Yeah, he really does.
He seems to not care about anything in the world except for Chris and the girl he met.
So I guess when Michael Mann was interviewed, they said philosophically, you know, Neil's this monk who has these rules, which, by the way, always works for me in a movie.
Rules.
Like determinism.
Roadhouse.
He's been to prison. He's not going back. His life is determined by his own kind of set of rules. He's an expert in one thing that he loves to do. That's Michael Mann's bread and butter. That's every movie he's ever done. Is someone, even his most recent one, Ferrari.
Yeah.
Powerful guy.
I never saw Ferrari. Was it good?
It's fantastic.
Okay.
It's the same thing. It's just this powerful guy who his life's falling apart around him, but he can do this one thing well, and it's what he cares about.
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought.
That's okay.
But no, that Neil, when he meets Edie and he starts kind of feeling something for her, that's when he decides to kind of break the rules about killing Van Sant, killing Waingro, coming back for Chris, because he opened up his life a little bit and kind of let go of his philosophy with Edie.
That's what a woman will do to you.
Yeah.
But change your philosophy.
Do you think De Niro has good chemistry with Edie?
No.
So it's interesting. De Niro is in the top 3 best actors of the last 50 years.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly, right? Yeah. Does he have chemistry with any woman on screen ever?
Give me some examples. I can't off the top of my head.
Casino, it's terrible. Ginger. Yeah.
You know, actually.
Give me a breath.
Actually, no, you know what, though? Yeah, it is terrible.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. King Comedy, nobody. Yeah. Mean Streets, nobody. Goodfellas, he's like asexual.
Yeah.
The only time he actually has chemistry, and it's really creepy.
Fockers?
No. No. Cape Fear with Juliette Lewis.
Yeah.
But that's just disgusting.
That's a little weird.
Yeah.
Good chemistry, though.
Yeah, but De Niro's
he's so good in Cape Fear.
Yeah.
When did that come out?
Counselor, 92.
We're going to have to do Cape Fear.
Oh my God, I love Cape Fear.
I love Cape Fear.
Counselor!
Yeah. Cape Fear's so good.
De Niro with an Alabama accent is the most unnerving thing I've ever seen in my life. And he's yoked in that movie.
Yeah, big time. Well, jail will do that to you, push-ups and sit-ups.
Yeah, but in this movie, him being kind of this samurai who came from prison, who wears these kind of benign colors, has no furniture in his apartment, and has all these rules and expertise. It's like, you know, my life's a joke.
Yeah.
And like
your life is a joke.
Yeah.
For those listening.
Yeah. Ha ha.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
But I have a great time.
You do have a great time.
So to see someone so expertly focused on something and that they've mastered this craft, and that when they see someone like Vincent Hanna, who's also on the same level as him, and they kind of just, they nod like so to each other, it's like Kobe and LeBron playing on the same court and being like, I see you.
Man, this is your love song episode. You are
It's my
up.
Man crush. This is masculinity defined, right?
Wow, this is something. I don't know what you're doing right now. You're making me uncomfortable. It's getting hot in here.
It is hot.
Should we
take the coats
should not take our coats off. Let's get to facts about the movie.
Okay.
Because there's a lot.
Yep.
The original film was pitched in '79, and it was there was an opportunity to turn it into a television show on the heels of Miami Vice. Didn't happen. This is based on a true story, which I didn't know.
First of all, the TV show, LA Takedown, they did make a pilot of it.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah.
I've seen it. The guy who played Ralph played Waingro.
Oh, really?
So like a little callback.
Yeah.
But keep going.
No, you're good. This is based on a true story. So Vincent Hanna is based on Chuck Adamson.
Yep.
Adamson, Chicago-based police officer. And then the bad guy, his name is actually who it's based on.
Neil McCauley.
Yeah, Neil McCauley, which is wild to me. Before shooting Heat, Mann took De Niro, Kilmer, Sizemore to the Folsom State Prison to talk to actual career criminals and get a sense for what was going on. I mean, they were buried in this thing.
Yeah, well,
weapons training, Danny Trejo was the only one on this cast that actually had prison time.
He went to Folsom.
Yeah. Oh, that was his prison.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So have you seen the Jericho Mile, by the way?
No.
So that's Michael Mann's first movie.
Okay.
In 1979. It's a TV movie. It's on YouTube for free.
Mhm.
Go watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably the best TV movie of all time. And he hired real people from Folsom. And the movie got filmed in Folsom. It's about a guy who's like trying to break a 4-minute mile, but he's a career murderer.
Oh, wow.
And you can see like
the seeds being planted.
That and Thief.
Do you know what movie that reminds me of is when what's his face was on Terminator planting the seeds for aliens?
Oh my God. So James Cameron.
Remember he was like testing things out?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's to say, I love when like early in career directors are like, I've got this one movie, let's test and see this to see how it's going to look in our next. Or was it for The Abyss? No. It was, remember we went over this before.
It was the liquidness of The Abyss became the T2.
The T2,
liquid stuff.
Yeah.
But in the Jericho Mile and Thief, the main character who is the criminal, he has all these, he doesn't abbreviate anything. He's like, we do not, all those kind of things. He elongates its words because he says what he means. Neil McCauley has the same thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well.
So, I mean, that's what makes him sound so formal and kind of important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have that ability.
Yeah.
I truncate everything. I think
I think you could if you wanted
to. The training, they got a member of the British Special Forces for 3 months, did weapons training with them daily. And they used live rounds in training. They didn't obviously use live rounds in the film itself.
No, Michael Mann said De Niro was better than 95% of the cops and trainers.
Dude, because actors have a commitment to it that's totally different, right?
So Val Kilmer grew up with machine guns and like grew up on ranches where he would shoot all the time. He actually joined the trainers and trained other people on it.
Oh, nice.
When before he gets shot in the clavicle, when he's doing the suppressive fire, forward, backwards, forward, and then reloads.
Yeah.
I think that's the coolest. And the cop cars are just like inflaming and being destroyed. Like the metal's being chewed up.
Yeah.
I think it's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
It's awesome.
It's the coolest 10 seconds ever.
So we mentioned that none of the 107 days of shooting took place on a soundstage. The LAX shooting was particularly difficult because there was a bomb threat by the Unabomber.
I heard that. Yeah.
It's a little Michigan, because he graduated from Michigan.
Go Blue.
Yeah. That's between him and Moody, missing the extra point or getting it blocked.
He had long kicks too, though. So I mean, he
did great. Yeah. He did fine.
But like I said before, the 95 set locations, 85 of them had never been shot before in movies. Like, that's freaking cool.
It gives the movie a unique.
Yeah.
I think that when you're talking about films, and there's hundreds upon hundreds of films that are made all the time, when you can do something that's different and not just rely on CGI to make it different.
Oh yeah, like with Kelso's house with the barbed wire on the hill, and you're like, where is this? And, or Albert, that place they're hanging out when he first meets him. And it's a pit bull training place, it's a salt mine, and it's a car stripping location all in one.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that.
No. You had brought up earlier, I told you to chill out because I want to talk about it now, but you brought up earlier how Christopher Nolan is a huge fan of Heat. He modeled aspects of The Dark Knight on Mann's film.
Yep.
That's the most obvious thing in the world. If you watch that bank
scene.
robbing, and then he uses the same guy,
William Fincher.
Yeah, William Fincher does both.
You guys are dead. Yeah.
I mean, I think for my money.
Yeah.
And we did an episode a long time ago, our favorite opening scenes to movies and our favorite ending scenes to movies. The opening scene of The Dark Knight is my favorite film to any movie ever made.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It's up there. Yeah.
Can you give me something else that's even close? I'll settle for close. I won't even debate with you and take us off topic. Give me something that's close to as incredible as a full opening scene of a movie.
Easy, this. When the truck crushes into the thing and it's the loudest sound you ever heard.
Yeah.
And the explosion of the car windows with the explosion. And also the fact that they're doing 5 minutes of not hand-holding.
Yeah.
Like
But they didn't do any hand-holding in Dark Knight.
I mean, you knew the Joker was robbing a bank.
But you didn't, ish.
Why do they call him, what do you mean no hand-holding? Why do they call him the Joker? Because he wears war paint. Like, that's the most, like, criminal bad guy stuff ever.
All right, fine. Take heat out of it, Max. You're all heated up. Is there anything that comes close to
Indiana Jones 3? With the train car and how he became himself.
Damn it, that's really good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'd like to put in my head for Children of Men.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen Children of Men.
Okay, that is a tone setter as much as you can get it. And sets up the world perfectly in like just a few minutes.
It rhymes with splush-splosion.
Great.
And a head rolling.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. All right.
It's really good.
All right.
Yeah.
Explosion. Why would you say splush-splosion?
I was going head explosion.
Oh, head explosion?
Yeah, I got too excited.
I just got confused why explosion all
I'm
of a
wearing
sudden
a
was
suit.
an
I feel all
inappropriate word. I
different.
know, you're like,
I feel all tingly.
you're out of line. You can't handle the truth.
Did you do the code red?
Oh my God. That's so funny. Facts. Keep on going. What facts do you have? I got more.
The "she's got a great ass" line was improvised by.
I'll have to bleep that out.
We bleeped out a few things.
Yeah,
was improvised by Al Pacino.
Yeah.
Hank Azaria was so startled. You see right after he goes, Jesus.
I know.
He didn't know what to do.
Right.
He just freaked out.
Pacino.
So Pacino like improvised half this movie basically.
Sure.
Yeah. He had a facelift before this movie too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And you can tell he looks good. He looks more vibrant. Yeah. And they based his look on Pat Riley in the 80s with the Showtime Lakers.
Oh, that's so funny.
His hair looks great. It's like wafty and like just really good looking. And the way they designed Neil's look was that he could blend in anywhere.
Okay.
So that's why the gray suits. And you look up these little details.
Shirts.
When he's at the hospital in the beginning, when someone else opens the door, he doesn't touch the hospital with his hands. He makes sure that there's no fingerprints or anything like that. It's just small details like that.
I mentioned this to you, and you think them full of crap, but I'll bring it up again.
Yep.
I feel like this was lifted from Point Break. And I would argue, show me other examples of when this happens.
I'm going to make a YouTube clip of it.
That's fine. So in Point Break, they, I actually think it was Bodhi that says it.
Yeah.
Like, the money's insured, not worth dying for. And then in Heat, he says, we don't want to hurt anyone. Your money is insured by the federal government.
It's in every bank movie ever.
I want to see, show me one and I'll
I know
shut up.
Public Enemies.
You've seen more bank movies.
Yeah, but that's also a Michael Mann movie, so could be cheating.
There you go.
The Joker says it.
Does he?
No.
Liar. This doesn't feel like a Joker thing to say.
He's putting grenades in those people's hands. You think he's like, don't, just relax.
You're okay. Everything's fine. We're all fine. Everything's going to be okay.
Yeah. The coffee shop scene is what sold De Niro on actually coming in on this movie.
Yeah, he signed on first, and then he went and got Pacino, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No,
Pacino signed on first, and then he went and got De Niro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And remember, Pacino and De Niro, their 80s weren't like this prolific thing, actually. Like, Pacino did a lot of stage work.
Right.
He did Cruisin', which I love, but it's a weird movie.
Yeah.
Sea of Love, Scarface in the beginning, and that kind of took it out of him. And De Niro did Kings of Comedy. I mean, we'll talk about this later, but this was the end of their kind of top tier performances before they kind of go into older age.
Yeah.
And I mean, to have two, there's no other.
It's their swan song.
Yeah, but there's no other movie like that, I don't think, where it's that important that these two actors got on. And it's like they've been training for these movies. They all played cops.
Yeah.
They all played robbers.
Yeah.
And they finally got to play the ultimate against each other.
Yeah, it's
like when I tried to recast this, I couldn't think.
Oh God, are we gonna even try to do that?
Yeah.
Well, they have every single actor that you would want. I mean, well, do you want to do that right now?
Okay, sure.
All right, so let's talk recasting. Well, let's pick a character first.
So
who do you want to?
Well, no,
look at first?
You got to go for Pacino and De Niro. What would you do?
Oh, Jesus,
it's
you
now, right? So is it the level of acting, or is it the importance that they're in a movie together? See what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I think that here's who I think of.
Okay.
When I think of those two roles.
Yep.
I immediately think of Denzel Washington. I don't know who.
Yep.
The intensity. I start thinking of Training Day.
He'd be Vince.
I start thinking of like that.
Yeah.
Like to carry that role.
Yeah.
And that position. I think of him.
Yeah.
Could you throw a DiCaprio in there? Inception.
Yeah. I mean, that's the right call.
Yeah. I'm thinking performances where I was just like jarred by how much they pulled me in.
Yeah.
And I think of Washington in Training Day, DiCaprio, Inception. Do you know who could do it?
Who?
Think Interstellar.
McConaughey. Yeah.
And a
little True Detective too.
That's a great example. I think people get too hung up on like.
No, McConaughey would be great.
Do you know who could do it?
Who?
Keanu.
So I have Keanu as Neil.
Okay.
And I have Tom Hardy as Vincent.
All right.
Because, he's kind of manic.
Tom Hardy. That's a really good one.
Or as Neil, too, you could do Cillian Murphy.
Oh, wait. Could you do Taken?
Liam Neeson? No, you cannot do Taken Liam Neeson. He's Darkman.
Is it Nielsen?
Whatever it is.
It's not. You're thinking Leslie Nielsen?
I love Liam Neeson or whatever it is.
I can't remember.
He's schlocky.
Yeah. I know you're right. You're right.
Although in The Gray, he was very kind of like profound. And have you seen that one?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's like a plane crash and it's a prisoner.
Oh yeah. I know what it's about.
It's poetic.
All right, let's other recap. Okay, so who? Chris Knight. Have you heard my fan theory about how Chris Knight graduates from his school in Real Genius and becomes this Chris?
No,
I'm kidding. That's not a real fan theory.
So I don't read books, but I read Heat 2. Heat 2 is a 5 years in the future.
The Heatening, because he lives.
Yeah. So it's 5 years in the future of him, and it's also 5 years back on how Neil and Vincent kind of almost cross path in the 80s in Chicago.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most incredible books I've ever read.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's like Chris's whole story, kind of his life.
All right, so who do you recast for Chris?
Bradley Cooper.
Really?
I think could do it. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, Patrick Swayze, if he was alive.
Yeah. And he's
at the time. Yeah.
Michael Fassbender, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Do you know who I'm who's warming up on me as an actor, and I'm going to start throwing Miles Teller.
Is it because you saw him
in Ann Arbor?
Yeah.
But that's not the only reason why. That's not the only reason why.
I did reach out.
Long drink is incredible, by the way. Have you had them?
Yeah.
They're delicious.
I reached out to the Blue Let people to see if I could get a meeting with him. Couldn't do it.
I probably didn't go very well.
Yeah.
Did it? Yeah.
They're like,
hey there, Max Sanders.
My podcast is about
you might remember me from such bars as Scorekeepers.
So Wayne Grove is based on a real guy too.
Yeah.
He was a Chicago informant.
Who would you put in for Wayne Grove?
Now?
Yeah.
Psycho, weird. Back then, Crispin Glover.
Yeah. Yeah, Crispin Glover. Absurd.
Yeah.
Hey, you.
Get your damn hands on. I had to get it on, man.
Jesus
Just
Christ.
drinking a milkshake.
Chris Farley. Give me Chris Farley. Give me Jim Carrey as Wayne Grove.
Oh.
Alrighty then. You're meeting the Grim Reaper. Yeah. That whole scene is so dark.
It's pretty gross.
It's so dark.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry. I got to jump out of this for a second because this is another example of what I love about this movie. The building up and breaking down of Pacino's character.
Yep.
So the mom, who is the daughter has had her skull crashed in. This 15-year-old girl who's a prostitute. Wayne Grove just wrecks her.
Yeah.
And they find her dead.
In a trash can.
And she's got maggots coming out of her nose.
Yeah.
And the siblings and the mom are like 10 feet away.
The hug.
And just again, this is the brilliance of this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's not a complaint. It's a question.
Yeah.
I'd love to ask Michael Mann. He seems to do a really good job of giving equal attention to the two crews. So you have the crew that is the cops, and you have the crew that is the bad guys. I don't know why he doesn't seem to give more depth to De Niro's character that he's willing to give to Pacino.
Because I don't think De Niro as the kind of criminal that can't be wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like, remember he's like, when John Voight's talking to him in the car, he's like, this guy can miss. And, he can still get you.
Yeah.
You can't miss.
Yeah.
So the philosophy that you can't miss, you have to walk away in 30 seconds, like his general kind of mantra. By the way, coolest thing ever, when he sees Vincent Hanna walking towards Edie in the car, when he pulls the fire alarm.
Yeah.
It takes him exactly 30 seconds to walk away.
Oh, that's so cool.
Isn't that amazing?
That's so cool.
Yeah, like they actually timed it.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Who are you rooting for in this movie every time you watch it?
That's a great question.
Because that's man's design was
Ashley Judd.
Go.
She's so pretty, dude.
She is.
It's like it's almost distracting.
Well, she's a former Carl girl.
I know.
Yeah.
I missed my time, missed my place. No, I'm kidding. But even I know I'm completely, I sound like a broken record
Yep.
saying this again and again and again. And I'm going to get back to your question. It's a great question about who I'm rooting for. But I just want to, have you ever seen a movie that you love so much and that's great, but then you're just like, but why is that one person cast in that role? Or not even so much that it bothers you, but that like it's so off of what the success of the rest of it is.
Who is it?
That's what I'm saying. There isn't anyone in this movie.
No, yeah.
That is the simple yet complex perfection of this movie is that everyone is great.
Yeah.
Tone Loc is great.
Yeah, he actually is.
That would have been the moment where it gets campy to me, but he's great in this.
Yeah. Although the slick thing is a bit of a stretch.
I don't know. Is it though?
You're gonna put slick in. You're gonna get the phone book. Do it anyways.
What voice are you even doing?
Pacino.
Yeah, that's
ha.
Ha! All this hawing is making me making me laugh, making me cough, making me hi ho.
Maybe you have bubonic plague.
I could.
Do you know that got discovered like 2 days ago?
I did not.
Someone in Oregon got it from their cat.
Dear God, that's great. Another COVID.
So kill your cat.
Yeah, no, don't ever say that. God
Bob Barker here. Kill your cats.
Spay, neuter, and murder your cats. Who am I pulling for? I'm pulling for Pacino, and the reason I'm pulling for Pacino is what I brought up with you. You don't have the life experience to appreciate what it's like for Pacino, and you like the simplicity of De Niro. So your example about the rules and the like structure,
discipline, determinism.
Because like what that really does is, and maybe I answered my own question about why Michael Mann didn't give more depth into what De Niro was going through, because that's really the whole point. Like there is no richness to De Niro's life because of how reductive he's made.
Yeah, well, 10 years in a serious prison. When they say 3 years,
that's true.
3 years in the shoe, that's solitary.
That's solitary. That's like 10 years in a regular scenario.
So it's like man is fascinated by these people that create these rules in their lives because they kind of had a broken foundation and they built their own structure.
Yeah.
So
I feel like Pacino is De Niro, but Pacino needs love in his life.
Yeah, he figured out like a little bit more in his life.
But ironically, what did he figure out? He's on his third wedding.
The downslope of my third marriage.
And he's got this stepdaughter, but like that humanity for me is why I pull for Pacino, because I want him to be okay. I want their marriage to be okay. I want his daughter. It's not going to be okay.
He even told her, I am what I'm chasing.
Yeah.
That's great.
I don't know. I'd like to think that I'd like to think that it could survive.
I mean, in the most vulnerable spot after their daughter almost killed themselves.
Yeah.
He's still like, I'm not what you want, baby.
No, but he's honest. There's an honesty to, I don't know. Yeah. I can't give you the right answer.
She said some brutal lines to him, by the way. Yeah. Holy moly. Yeah. Like, hold on, let me see if I have this right.
Do you know who she is, by the way?
Who?
She's in one of my favorite movies. 13th Warrior.
Oh, she is?
Yeah, she's one of like she's the one who like immediately helps and is like feeding him and like one of like the handmaids. Like that's her.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Is the 13th Warrior a 90s movie?
Yeah. We can do it.
To do that.
You don't live with me. You live amongst the remains of the dead people. You sift through the debris, you read the terrain, you search the signs of passing for the scent of your prey, and then you hunt them down. That's the only thing you're committed to. The rest is just the mess you leave as you pass through.
Sure.
That's like haiku, hurtful.
Yeah.
Like you need to get a marriage counselor right then.
I just imagine you and Selena. Selena's like, Max, pick up your underwear.
I'm really clean. She's actually
messy,
way messier than I am.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would probably I'm pulling for Pacino.
Yeah.
I'm pulling for Pacino.
So there was a end of this movie where they both died.
Really?
Yeah. But
yeah, I could kind of see that.
That works too. When they touch each other's hands,
I like that.
I love it. I'm saying that's a gregreat end to the movie. Yeah. It's just wonderful.
The cinematography at the end of the movie, the planes, the lights coming up.
I told you I wasn't going back.
it's great, dude.
Yeah.
I would have. All right. So, what do we want to hop into? We want to talk about characters for a little bit. I mean, I kind of gave you that rundown on the list, but what do you got?
Yeah, let's do it. Well, let's talk about Michael Mann first.
Talk about Michael Mann.
So I'd say he
wrote and directed this movie.
Yeah. He's a top 5 all-time director. Agree or disagree?
Jeez, Max.
Think about it. Just go. It's Tarantino.
Spielberg, Tarantino, Lucas. You have to put Lucas in there whether you love him or hate him.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. You can look at his work now and you can say...
Did he direct the Indiana Jones stuff?
No, but American Graffiti and Star Wars. You could, on just that. You can... Max, I know he's bastardized his... I know. I know you're not thrilled about it.
Okay, but it's your list. Go ahead.
Donner.
Donner's up there. Okay. Walter Hill.
Yeah.
Or James Cameron.
Nolan.
Ridley Scott.
Nolan's up there.
Nolan's up there. Yeah. But for me, for the way I like my movies, Michael Mann is top 5.
If Heat didn't exist, you wouldn't have him in there. I think that the important thing when you're listing a top 5 director, you can have one piece of their work that cinches it for you, but can the rest of their work without that one piece hold up?
Yes, because I have 3 to 4 of his movies are in my top 50 of all time. Thief is incredible, which you haven't seen yet.
I haven't. So I'm not going to knock it, but I think you're having a little bit of recency bias. You've watched Heat probably 10 times in the last 3 days.
Collateral's incredible.
I'm not saying these movies aren't good. I'm just saying, dude, Spielberg
doesn't resonate with me in the same way.
Max, even if you ignore Schindler's List and all of the like deep stuff that he does, how about just E.T.?
I hate E.T.
Oh my God.
We know that. Jurassic Park. There you go. Saving Private Ryan. Yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah, Spielberg is more prolific.
I think we've already bumped him out of the 5.
But here's the question. I mean, you just brought the George Lucas. You have to have him in there because he did the Star Wars movies?
No. I said you can remove a movie, your favorite. Like, for instance, of the Star Wars movies, Empire Strikes Back is my favorite. If you pull it out.
He didn't direct that.
Yeah, that's true. He just did, what did he do? Star Wars and...
The Phantom Menace.
Yeah. Dude. You still have American Graffiti, his first film.
Have you seen American Graffiti?
I have.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I watched it when I was in high school. We had to watch it.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Is it one of your favorite movies?
It's one of my favorite movies.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
There you go.
He's got a crappy taste.
All right.
I'm gonna call him Buster.
I put what's her face, Hurt Locker and
Catherine Bigelow.
Well, because of Point Break, I'd throw her in there.
You're ruining my point.
I'm sorry. Let's go continue with your point, Michael Bain.
But he never made a bad movie. So Jericho Miles incredible. Yeah. Thief is awesome.
Yeah.
The Keep is weird. Have you seen it?
I've not seen any of his movies.
Okay. Yeah. This is disheartening.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I've seen Heat.
Manhunter, you've seen, right?
I've seen Manhunter. Yeah.
Last of the Mohicans.
Yes, I have seen Last of
the
the
Mohicans.
Mohicans. It's a great movie.
Yeah. Heat, The Insider.
I don't think I've seen The Insider.
Russell Crowe and Pacino about the smoking stuff. Yeah. Ali.
Yeah, I've seen Ali.
Yeah, that one's not his best one.
Yeah,
but Collateral you've seen.
That's the movie where the guy's like, keep your wife's name out of... No.
Although they both are in it.
I know.
Yeah.
But
Collateral.
I'm aware that in Ali, he doesn't say, keep my wife's name out of your mouth.
Have you seen Collateral?
Yes, I've seen Collateral.
So, you know the train at the end of Collateral?
Mm-hmm.
That's the same train that's in the beginning of Heat.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Miami Vice, which I love. Not many people love. Well, no, he created the TV show, too.
He produced it.
No, he created the TV show.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. He directed the movie, too.
Okay.
Which is a strange movie, but I really enjoy it. Public Enemies is terrible. Mm-hmm. Black Hat is for me, but it's not great. And Ferrari's incredible.
So, are we going to spend this much time on every single actor?
No, because you already ripped through most of the action stuff.
Quick ones. I'm just saying, Max, we're on hour 2 right now. So
Are we? What time is it?
Not on
I blacked
2.
out.
I'm kidding. It's okay. Continue.
So
I'm just giving you a hard time. I have given you free reign on this episode. I barely talked this episode.
Good. I mean, you're still talking.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I can't not talk. The people come for me.
Even when I'm focused on something, I can't talk for more than 30 seconds at a time without feeling a sledgehammer
30 seconds.
like about to hit my head. Al Pacino's Vincent Hanna. You know he's only 5'6".
I believe that.
Yeah.
A lot of those actors and actactresses who are almost bigger than life, they have huge heads and small bodies.
Dustin Hoffman. Yeah, like that kind of thing.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Tom Hanks. Cruise
is
4'2" with a huge head.
I'm in love with Katie Holmes.
In Family Guy, whenever they show him, and it's like a little person with like a giant head, it cracks me up.
So Alfred James Pacino, he's never been married, but he had kids. He had twins with.
Didn't he just have a kid?
At 83,
yeah. That's. I
don't
know how I feel about
he had kids with Beverly D'Angelo.
Oh, really?
So
Holiday Road.
Yeah. So man's got taste.
Yeah.
I mean, by the way, you're gonna love this. Moe's voice from The Simpsons, is based on his voice in Dog Day Afternoon.
Shut up!
Isn't that cool?
That's amazing.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome.
Ixnay on the Uma.
I mean, his movies are just prolific. Godfather, Serpico, Godfather 2.
Wait, can I just tell you something real quick?
What?
My favorite Mo Sizlak thing ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
A cog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, Homer's like, oh, hey, Mo, it's in the garage. Oh, the garage. Yeah. Well, ooh-la-dee-da, Mr. Frenchman.
Yeah.
Or is he Frenchman or Fancy Man? He goes, what do you call it? It's a car hold.
Yeah.
Car hold. So good.
You love it. I mean, his movie, Scarface, Sea of Love, Dick Tracy, Godfather 3.
We got to do Scarface on the show, too.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
A lot of bleeping.
Glengarry Glen Ross, Son of a Woman, Carlito's Way, Heat.
Son of a Woman. God.
Donnie Brasco, The Insider, Devil's Advocate, Any Given Sunday.
Yeah.
Any Given Sunday. Can we just do a whole episode about the Peace with Inches speech?
Why don't we do a whole episode about football movies? Do Necessary Roughness, Varsity Blues, the program, and Any Given Sunday.
I Don't Want Your Life.
What am I forgetting? God, I got to be forgetting something. Wildcats.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Wildcats.
De Niro, I mean, is just so prolific too.
Yeah.
A method actor from New York. And he was one of the last people to see John Belushi alive.
Mm-mm.
Him and Robin Williams. They stopped by his hotel room.
So his greatest movie is Goodfellas, right?
So what era De Niro do you want to talk about?
All time best movie. How do you not make it Goodfellas?
Because he's the third lead. There's no character arc to him. He's just a thief.
He's great.
He's great, but there's no, like you said, with Neil.
What's he better in? Give me the movie. Me, Myself, and Irene?
No, Taxi Driver.
Yeah, he's really good in Taxi Driver.
He's incredible. Or Raging Bull.
Raging Bull.
Yeah. Or, I mean, I love him in Once Upon a Time in America.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
No,
Sergio Leone? Oh, my God, it's incredible. Yeah. But, I mean, not to take anything away from... Oh, and also Midnight Run. He's actually, like, funny and, like, it's a different role for him. Mm-hmm. Do you know he was almost Harry for Home Alone?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that
would have been
really
great.
Funny,
yeah. And Casino, he's incredible, too. Mm-hmm. Everything. He's wonderful. I mean, the last 25 years have been kind of sad.
I mean...
he takes these weird comedy...
Yeah.
Like, Silver Linings Playbook is okay.
He was great in Silver Linings Playbook.
Yeah. The Irishman... Like
that movie,
Joker, he's good.
Yeah.
So it's like
actually Joker, he was really good.
Yeah.
So no, of all of the actors that get into that satirical phase of their career where their roles are kind of like, I would say he's survived pretty well. Because to your point, you named a couple right now. I'm like, he was really good in those.
It's true. It's just I don't like to see LeBron James averaging 9 points.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Well, don't worry, he's not yet.
Yeah. Then we got Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be in Top Gun. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Staying in the Doors. Obviously, right now he's throat cancer. Very sad.
Yeah.
But he's perfect in this movie because it's the tail end of his handsome kind of phase. And it's the tail end of bad guys looking like that.
When was The Saint?
97. So that was supposed to be his big franchise.
Saint was fantastic.
Saint is awesome.
Yeah.
And everyone says it. For some reason, it didn't do well at the time. But in this movie, he has such kind of a worn look to him. Like he's like a California surfer a little bit. And like you can see there's this destructiveness. Like
dude, he feels like if Bodhi got strung out.
Yeah.
Like I'm with you. Like it's and the scar. And
it seems like he's one of Bodhi's guys. You see what I'm saying? Like he needs someone. There's a great moment in this movie when De Niro says like, after this, I'm out. And they pan back to Kilmer. And he has this kind of lost puppy look. Like, what am I going to do without this guy?
Yeah.
Because he has the gambling stuff.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a movie just about his gambling in Vegas.
Right? Oh
Super Bowl cleared me out, baby.
Yeah.
He only got $8,000.
Give me $2 million on who's playing the Harlem Globetrotters tonight.
So, by the way, it's crazy. He says the Super Bowl cleared me out.
Yeah.
This is 1995. That was the Steve Young 49ers against the Chargers. He had to have bet the Chargers. What was he thinking?
That's funny. Of course, you check that up. Why would I be surprised?
Yeah. But John Voight, this was the start of his character actor kind of life, where he was actually considered
for the kids out there, Angelina Jolie's father.
Yeah. Was considered for Superman back in the day, for Christopher Reeve's role. Yeah.
God, I can't see that.
No, I can't either. Because we know him as older. We know him as Mission Impossible, Anaconda.
More importantly, head coach in
Coach Kilmer.
Blues, Coach Kilmer.
Yeah. Zoolander.
Moxie.
He's Zoolander's dad.
Oh, God, that's right.
Yeah, Tom Sizemore, who...
Come back here, you're some mermaid. Merman, Dad.
Tom Sizemore in this movie, for some reason, can go toe-to-toe with De Niro. When he's like...
If you look at Sizemore's career and the stuff that he has been in.
Yeah.
Apocalypse Now.
True. Was he in Apocalypse Now?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was in...
now you got me all nervous.
Yeah,
just kidding. He was in Apocalypse of Ice in 2020.
Wow.
Not Apocalypse
Close.
Now. More importantly, he was in Point Break.
Yeah.
He was the undercover DEA guy.
Yeah. And he's in True Romance. Yeah.
True Romance.
Yeah. He was in Blue Steel.
Yeah.
The Relic, Witness to the Mob, Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, he was great in that.
He can really level up when he's next to...
He'll perform at the level of the people around him. He cannot carry a movie.
So when he does the action, he does the juice, he's like blinking, and he's like, for me, hoo-ah! And he pauses forever. The action is the juice. And you can see Val Kilmer's face as a smirk afterwards.
You love the juice.
Oh, my God. Okay, forget the rest of the characters.
Yes.
I just want to do 5 minutes to end this movie. The coffee shop scene, which I believe is the most important scene in movie history.
Wow.
Because it's the two best actors.
First, I love your aggressive transition. This is why you don't run the show.
Nope.
You're like hard braked. You're like, we're just going to stop talking about this. I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Because we're at time anyway. So
Yeah.
yes, let's talk about the coffee sharing coffee scene.
So it's so strange. Like you think they'd be kind of talking more small talk stuff, but they're talking philosophically about their dreams.
Yeah.
And they're actually like interested in each other. And De Niro has this kind of reservedness, and Pacino's trying to get him to kind of emote so he can get a clue. And he does actually when he's like, I got a woman. That actually like comes back later when he sees Edie waiting in the car, and Hanna knows, oh, that's got to be Hannah's girl. I mean, McCauley's girl.
Yeah.
But it's this very strange, very beautiful scene where like everything in the background's black and white. It's at Kate Mantilini's this diner. And by the way, I love all the diners, restaurants, the behind the scenes kind of hospitality of this movie.
Yeah.
Because it feels like it's the underground world of like the service industry, which I feel akin to.
Yeah.
I'm in that. Yeah.
This movie touches all your special spots.
It does.
Yeah.
But who do you think wins the scene? Who kind of outdoes the other? Because remember, De Niro at the end takes that big pause. He's like, there's a flip side to that coin.
Yeah. I think because
Pacino's great too. He's talking about his marriage.
So I think that I lean towards De Niro winning the scene because Pacino is allowed to invade that space and doesn't have to reserve anything. There's no cat and mouse for him.
No.
He is the cop.
Because he has the law on his side.
He has the law on his side.
Yeah. You can feel it. He has that power.
De Niro is the one who is playing a chess game and has to be careful what he says, careful what he reveals.
Yeah.
You also realize that while all this is going on, everyone's clearing out of town.
Yeah.
So like he already is playing like a shadow game. Because basically Pacino gets back from this meal and
I had coffee with McCauley 30 minutes ago.
30 minutes ago. So I think that the fact that he is not only having an A-B conversation across from him, but he's also moving all the pieces of the chess table over here and getting people to get out of town, and Trejo's heading away, and they're all oh god, dude. That's just the brutality of this movie, but it never feels gratuitous.
I can't feel nothing.
That might be the best compliment that I could pay this film is that it is the most violent film I've ever seen, and not one bit of it feels like it's over the top.
It feels like it's for the art.
It feels like it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you have to have Trejo in that situation because it has to leave enough suspicion for De Niro to question whether or not his out has been compromised.
Or how Bosco dies with his eyes open.
Yeah.
Look
at me. Look at me. That's how I'd kill you. Look at me. It's good.
So I have a question for you. Would you rather kill one man with a gun that's not looking at you?
Oh, I screwed up. That's not Bosco. I'm sorry. I was thinking of Waingrove.
Waingrove, yeah,
not Bosco.
Would you rather kill one?
I love how you didn't even challenge that. It was Waingrove where
I thought you were doing a Buffalo Bill
thing.
thing I didn't know.
No. Oh,
yeah.
God.
Would you rather kill one man with a gun far away and he's like not looking at you, or strangle 30 kittens while making full eye contact?
I don't even know how to answer the weird question that you put in front of me, so thanks.
Okay.
I'm not strangling kittens anytime soon, so I guess that answers the question.
Famous last words.
Oh, Max, what a treat today was. Anything else? Any other facts, points? We all know you love this movie. If you could be one character in this movie, who would you be?
Oh my God. So
how do you like them apples?
Michael. Like he has the family, he has the kids, he's a good dad.
Yeah.
But he's got the juice of what he wants from this from being in the, and also you're not the leader.
Yeah.
And also Chris is too much of a screw up in the rest of his life. Like
I'd be Chris so I could have myself some Ashley Judd.
Gross.
Yeah, super gross.
Not gross.
No, super gross. Gross. Why would you want that?
Girls.
Yeah, girls. Yeah. Ick.
I was supposed to say, when I was like 10 or 11 years old, my dad saw this movie, I think, in theaters because it came out on my birthday, December 15th, 1995.
Yeah.
By the way, it made $180 million on $60 million budget. We didn't talk about that.
Jesus Christ, that's so much money.
But he talked to me about how cool it was that like you were rooting for both of them and that Vince had this code. And I remember like the excitement in his voice. And I was like, I have to see this movie. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And also when I was at Electric Forest this year, which is the happiest time of my life, really fun. Yeah. It's a festival of music.
I shot 3 people.
No. when I robbed.
I just like running at you. I was at Electric Forest. I said, you got 30 seconds. You got to be able to leave everything behind. Make your move, Max.
While we weren't listening to music, while we were wandering around the festival, the entire 4 days I was listening to Heat on repeat in my one headphone.
Yeah.
So that was like the background music.
You do a lot of things that are probably prescribable as mentally ill.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to add. I love this movie. I don't Max Sanders love this movie, but I love this movie. But like I told you, you've been doing good recently, so I threw you a bone and you chewed that bone.
Let's do a Mo obsessive one. Let's do a Goonie level obsessive one next week.
We did my most obsessive film.
No, I know, but let's do. This is not my most. Well, this is actually
probably for me the movie.
What's your 90s?
God, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Let's do it.
I love that movie so much.
It's a great movie. It's actually, let's do it.
It'll just be an hour and a half of me being like, Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn.
Let's do it.
Maybe. I'll think about it.
Okay.
It's under consideration.
How do you talk this much? My voice hurts.
I know. That's how I actually feel like relaxed.
Yeah.
This is like the nice, I'm like, oh, this is what it's like to have a partner who goes 50-50.
Yeah.
Well, Max, I don't know that there's anything else that I could talk about regarding the movie Heat.
I could.
Okay, well, good. How about instead of that, we go over to our favorite spot of the show, the Buzz in the Tower fan spotlight. Max, who do we got this week?
We got Eric Bethel.
Eric Bethel.
He's a podcaster. He has the We Like It So What podcast.
All right.
And
which we can find on any podcast player.
Yes.
All right. Good.
And he's just this jacked, muscular, cool guy.
Don't get weird, Max.
I don't know. He has all these workout things on his Instagram.
Just don't get weird.
And I messaged him because he started following.
I messaged him because I liked how jacked he was. And
partially.
It's all right. It's totally not weird.
Because he followed us on Instagram.
Yeah.
And we talked about like what our favorite movies were.
Nice.
And he said Heat. And I started gushing with him. And then I suggested to you we could do Heat. And you're like, happy birthday, you filthy animal.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And then here we are.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Two guys.
Two guys. All right. Well, let's see what your new boyfriend has to say about this episode. Oh, you weirdo.
Hey, Mo and Max. This is Eric from Reidsville, North Carolina, and I want to talk about my favorite scene in Michael Mann's masterpiece, Heat. It's the scene when after Neil executes Waingro, he goes down to be with Edie to get away with her and the money, and he sees Vincent coming through the crowd. And it's the look of sadness on Neil's face because he knows what he has to do. His survival instincts are kicking in, and as he told Chris, have no attachments, do not allow anything in your life you cannot walk out on in 30 seconds flat if you feel the heat around the corner. Thanks, guys, and I love the show.
Yeah, dude, that scene's good.
Yeah. You want to hear something cool? His spotlight was 30 seconds long.
No way.
He didn't do it on purpose. I asked him, I was like, dude, did you do that on purpose?
That's amazing.
And he's like, no, but
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Plug his podcast again.
Yeah.
Good work, Max.
Thank you.
Have it ready. You know what? I'm actually just so impressed you put a suit on that I'm not going to give you a hard time about anything else.
I'm
giving you so much time. I'm literally.
We like it so what?
There we go. We like it so what?
Yeah. It's a good name.
Say his name again. Plug everything.
Eric Bethel.
Eric Bethel.
Muscular dude.
All right, Max. Well, that concludes our show. I want to remind everyone, first of all, thank you again, Eric, for the wonderful spotlight, and remind everyone to check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, subscribe, leave a review, YouTube. I didn't mention YouTube earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. You can see the suits.
Yeah.
We are now sponsored by the Men's Warehouse. Please go to youtube.com at Buzz in the Tower. Make sure you subscribe, leave us a little note, and let's see, patreon.com/Buzz in the Tower. At Buzz in the Tower, which is our handle for all social media, buzzinthetower.com, our website. Buzz in the Tower, I'm thinking every time I do this, I think of Spaceballs. Buzz in the Tower, the coffee mug. Buzz in the Tower, the bumper sticker.
Yeah.
Merchandise.
Yogurt.
Oh, I hate yogurt. And today we talked about Heat. We'll shortly decide potentially doing an Ace Ventura Pet Detective next week. I don't know. We'll see.
Why not?
Alrighty then.
Yeah. We haven't done the Jim Carrey deep
You do
dive
not
yet.
talk to Snowflake.
Put me in, coach. I know I can do it.
All right, Max. How do you want to end this episode?
The sun rises and sets with this movie for me.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll end this episode the only way I know how. Hooah!